What's going on, folks? Painless. I've done these types of videos before. Um, MGTOW, men going the other way videos. Let me first start off by saying that I am married. I've been married over 12 years. It's just my wife and I, no children. She's a professional woman. I'm professional. Meaning we both work. We do pretty good for ourselves. We share the same bank accounts. Um, we have our own vehicles. Um, she makes dinner most of the time. My wife's a great cook. I do a lot of the grilling. So, and I say this because these are like identifiers with married men. Because I run into a lot of men, and I say I'm married because there's this notion that married men, it's kind of like how pro-blacks say, well, if you're married to a non-black woman or you're married to a non-black man, you have no right to talk about issues in the so-called black community. But yet these are the same people. If I had a child, me being a black man, if I had a child by a non-black woman, my child would in fact be black because I am black. And then there I would have it would be beneficial for me to school my black son or daughter, according to you pro-blacks, on black issues. But anyway, I say because it's the same principle applies. Many MGTOW supporters, advocates, don't think I should be able to speak about MGTOW issues because I'm married. Now you have some out there that are okay with it, but you have the strict, purist, I guess, that think I shouldn't have anything to say about that. But of course, I don't believe that. I think that's utter bullshit. But let me get on. Again, I'm married. I'm happily married. I chose to get married. I asked my wife to marry me over 12 years ago. And one thing I look at marriage, and me and my wife, we talk about this. If something, she tells me and we tell each other, if something were to happen to one of us, meaning I were to pass away or if we were to get divorced, we wouldn't get married again. In fact, we think marriage is overrated. And I know that sounds kind of strange, but I do think marriage is overrated. And I'm going to tell you why I think marriage is overrated. I see a lot of people, look, people get, especially guys get married for a couple of reasons. In-house sex at his disposal, companionship, which kind of goes along with in-house sex, meaning he doesn't have to go out and work. He doesn't have to go out and meet women, but he has sex. He has a woman at his disposal. Or heirship, meaning that he wants to pass on his name. You know, I'm a Johnson. And I want to have a son that's going to carry the Johnson name. You know, and it gets into this whole machismo, legacy. I want to set a legacy. Well, what happens a lot of times, and let me just, no, you know what? I'll get into that. Let me stick to the script. They get into this legacy thing, and this is why they want to have children. Now, like I said, my wife and I, we don't have children for other reasons, and we're okay with that. We've come to the firm understanding that we don't want children. Me and my wife, we go out pretty much every other weekend. We can afford it. We hit the town, we dance, we eat, we party, and we be merry together. We travel together, which goes hand with companionship. Now, I'm not the same man I was over 12 years ago. And I'm married for not necessarily in-house sex, because I didn't have a problem meeting women and having relations with them. I never had a problem in that department. But I did it because I thought it was the right thing to do, because my folks have been married over 30 years. And I was conditioned to think that, okay, this is what I'm supposed to do. And see, MGTOW brothers, there's nothing wrong with that. I've watched a variety of videos, and you know, a lot of guys, you can tell that they did what I did, had children, got divorced. Now they're paying over $800 a month in child support for 2 or 3 kids. And they're just living to pay child support. And I'm here to tell you, you don't feel bad. You did what you thought was right. But we learn from our mistakes. Okay? So don't feel down. Just get through it and don't make the mistake again. And I say that because my wife and I, like I said, we decided if one of those things were to happen, i.e. I were to die or she were to die or us part ways, we're not getting married again. And I take this because I look at American views on marriage. And I've talked about the system, child support. I talk about the unfair practices in which family court judge basically have to side with known whores. They can look at this woman and know she's a whore, but he has to judge in her favor and make this guy who works 32 hours as a security guard and then probably moves furniture to make up for the rest. He has to order him to pay one child $323 a month, while she sits on her ass with no skills, and she gets rewarded for opening her legs. And because of her inability to think, well, could I really do this on my own? See, a lot of women have kids hoping that the man's going to stick around. And then when he vamps on her ass, she's like, well, I might as well get something out of it because the courts allow it. I can tell you one thing. If the laws and systems were to change overnight, where women wouldn't get WIC, Section 8 stamps, or EBT card, or whatever have you, there were no benefits or some shit to cash in, these women, they would think twice about bringing a child into this world to, i.e., keep a man or to use it as a pawn. So these, nothing's going to change unless the laws change. But yeah, me and my wife, we've said we wouldn't get married again because marriage is overrated. Most women, this is why a lot of women act like freaking little children on their marriage day, because they've been conditioned to think that it's all about fucking me. And they act like whiny little brats. And people go out and spend. Me and my wife did the justice and the peace. And that's one thing I was, stern on. And my wife, my wife is practical, which I'm thankful. My wife is practical. She's understanding. I can, if I want to go out with a couple guys, I don't have to put in a fucking request form to leave. I don't have to put in a form of where, what time, where you're going to be at. I don't deal with that. Well, first off, I don't go out with a lot of guys anyway. But I went out with a partner of mine a couple months ago, and we painted the town. And, I didn't have to turn in a fucking permission slip. And I'm thankful for that. A lot of guys, it takes an act of fucking Congress for their ass just to go to the bar and have a couple beers with a buddy. And I think that's pretty pathetic. We're all adults here. Okay, there's no need to act like that, and I give that same courtesy to my wife. She doesn't need to freaking. I don't need to interview her ass before she goes out with a couple girlfriends. And again, my wife rarely goes out with other people. We go out most often by ourselves, or we'll go out with other couples. But most time we're hitting the streets by ourselves. So, a lot of, like I said, we probably wouldn't get married again. Marriage, under American, just looking at it through an American lens, it's bullshit. And, in terms of the whole fairy tale and all this shit, and look, I see this in a lot of military wives, especially a lot of army wives, that just like to sit up all day on the couch and watch fucking Guiding Light and General Hospital or whatever the hell is on now, while the guy's out working, busting his ass, dealing with assholes and idiots. And she just sits there and toils around and doesn't do shit. Military wives can, a lot of them can be the worst. And I've seen a lot of military simps that go out and get these women pregnant. And these women knowing that, I got my fucking depender card. I'm set. PX, BX, commissary privileges, medical, dental. These chicks are cashing in. And there's an abundance of freaking barracks rats right outside the gate on any said military installation in this country, just hovering, just loitering to get a depender card. And there's a whole bunch of guys that are obliging their asses. And these are the same ones. I can't tell you how many times I've dealt with soldiers when I was in the military that would come to work pissed off because their wife isn't doing shit. She just sits around all day with other military wives and don't do shit. And you see this a lot with the enlisted. Or we'll go on a 45-day field problem somewhere, or we'll deploy somewhere, and he's calling home, and he can't even find his fucking wife and kids. And then when he gets back, all the furniture's gone. You can drop a pin in that house and hear it drop because she done took all the shit. She done drained the bank accounts, and now he's looking for his kids. Now he can't do his job, understandably, because he's wondering where the fuck his kids are. Now he's getting in trouble. He's missing formation. He's pissed. He's, Sarge tell him to do something. He's snapping back. Now he's standing in front of top at parade rest asking, what the fuck is your problem, Private so-and-so? So now, it's just a crux of problems that unravel, because guys don't really, because they get married because of those things. They want convenient sex. And, they get blindsided by these no good American women. And I've talked about how American women now, look, I'm going to say this. If you marry someone, you need to do a strategic discussion with that female. You need to know how she ticks, what makes her do this. Stop meeting women at bars and clubs and then marrying them 3 weeks later. And then you get her and she can't even fucking boil a pot of water. She's lazy. She doesn't want to clean. But she wants you to go out there and do all this shit. She has no skills. She just wants to sit up and look pretty. But see, looks fade. Okay? So if you're gonna get married, I ain't gonna tell you not to. But I'm gonna tell you, you need to thoroughly interview that female. Nowadays, anytime, especially nowadays, because a lot of women operate as a facade. They give the illusion. And since a lot of guys think with their penises, they get a good piece, and they don't know how to act, and they fall head over heels, and there's a lot of guys, man, that just, man, these women just take their asses for a fucking ride, and it's like, man, you didn't see that shit coming, bro? I mean, fuck, man. Come on, man. Because now you're dealing with 18 years of dealing with this female, payments, harassment. She's tied to your ass to the hip for 18 years because you didn't do your fucking due diligence with this female. You didn't do your due diligence, man. And that's why I say, and I added on something else when my wife had these discussions often, that not only would I not get married, I would go and get my stuff snipped. Because there's no way that you're going to have me. There's no, if I want to be in a position where females say, well, it's yours, Painless. I'm pregnant. It's yours. Is that right, chick? That's interesting. That's interesting. Considering I had my shit snipped, chick. I think about that sometime. This the look on a female's face to think that she's going to fucking have me as an 18-year-old automatic, as an ATM machine for 18 years. Juice you, chick. Wrong guy. I'm not the father. Anyway, but there's a lot of women that are trying to cash in on this. And it goes back to what I said. If the laws were to change, their behavior would change. Laws, the idea of laws are to change behavior. That's the idea. So yeah, I would have my stuff snipped so there wouldn't be ifs, ands, or buts about if I done knocked your ass up. But see, you use protection anyway. Besides, I don't want any kids. I look at a lot of people, and a lot of people have kids and get married on some biblical shit because they've read in the Bible, marriage, get married, you have kids, and you bring in heir, you're passing on your legacy and all this. I guess it has to do with how I look at life, at the world. I see so many people struggle. These people have kids and are already struggling. Like I know a couple Mormons, and that's how, that's how they're taught. They're taught to bring in as many children as they can. But I see a lot of them struggle because of that. And there's some religions that teach you that unmarried men are scourges to society. That they need women to tame them. Now, this is one thing I think is total bullshit. Now, by default, when you deal with someone and you're in a friendship or companionship or marriage, by default, you're going to learn different shit from them. I hate when guys get up there and say, I don't know where I would be if it wasn't for my wife. I'd probably be out somewhere. I'm like, get a fucking grip. So as a man, you have no self-control. You needed this woman. And then you look at the woman. She's fucking hash. She's not anything. She's not a Nancy Reagan type or someone that, a lady figure or, just someone that is ladylike. She's a freaking, she's not shit. She's not shit. And he's like, I don't know what I would do, man. If I'll still be out here doing this, that. Like, you know, okay, just hand me your fucking dick already, bro. Hang that shit up over there. Jeez. You know, and if some of you all are listening on that boat, I'm sorry. It's just how I feel, man. And I never tell my wife that because my wife has shown me some things, have opened my eyes to things, and vice versa. But if we weren't together, I wouldn't be peddling for change to go buy me a fucking bottle of Thunderbird if I wasn't married. I mean, geez. I mean, and see, that's the type of shit that I talk about. You know, like you have no self-control, no discipline, no goddamn dignity about yourself. But you hear a lot of guys talk like that. So, like I say, you have some religions out here that are telling men you need to go get married because you need a woman. You need a woman to tell you how much you're not shit, and then she'll bring you up and make you a better man. Bullshit. It's the society we live in. And we're forced to operate under expected norms in this society. And when you deviate, you're a rogue. You see, I'm a rogue. And I don't have these conversations with people really. Because the shit I would say, they'd be like, their fucking tops would blow if they hear the shit that I say. So, and since I understand this, I know they're not ready for that type of opinion. I rarely talk about it. I rarely discuss it. This is my avenue to express how I feel about marriage and men just saying fuck it. And women too. Cause you got a lot of insecure, feminine, I need you, I'm gonna kill myself if you leave me type guys out here. Like there ain't umpteen billion other women out here, but you're over here fretting over this female, threatening to kill you. I've shared this story before with one of my cousins. We ride, it's about 1 a.m. He done had a little bit to drink, and this is when I went on leave one time. He done had a little bit to drink and crying and carrying on over this female. And next thing you know, we're over at her house and it's 1:30 in the morning. And he's out there, yelling out, in front of her place, hey, that's fucked up. You supposed to be with me. I'm going laying out in the fucking grass talking about he gonna kill himself. I'm like, come on, cuz, let's go, man. You look, and I didn't tell him that. I told him let's go, but in my mind, I'm like, man, you look so fucking pathetic. Oh my gosh, it was sickening to see this guy laying in the fucking grass over a female talking about he's gonna fucking kill himself, and all these females around where we live. Well, where he lived. I was on leave. And I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm spending my fucking Saturday night picking his ass up out the grass. And the female didn't even fucking come out. I don't even know if she was home. And then next thing he's like, he went from I want to kill myself to I want to kill her ass. And see, there's a lot of guys, I talk about simps, there's a lot of guys in jail and in the dirt over women that they absolutely had no business of dealing with. They would have made horrible fucking wives. They made horrible fucking mothers, but you still want to marry them, And no, fuck that, man. Hell nah. Hell nah. And like I said, me and my wife, we had these discussions, And like I said, my wife, just to give you black on my wife, she's practical. My wife can cook, can clean. She can do interior decorating. She can do all kind of shit. She party plans. She does a lot of shit. My wife is one of those busybody wives. My wife is not one of those wives that sits on the fucking couch all day. Like I said earlier in this video, she works, we work, but she's doing shit. My wife writes, and she does all type of shit. Little shit, side hustle, whatever. And I didn't, again, I'm not the same guy I was over 12 years ago. I didn't really know. I knew she can cook, but I didn't know she could do all this other shit. So I lucked out. And like I said, we come into as much as we want. We hang out. And it's not a fucking big deal. We're friends. And let me say this about marriage also. You need to if you're married, you need to run it like a fucking business. My wife doesn't go out here and spend and buy $600 worth of shit payday before the bills are paid. Now we buy our thing, if I want if I want an outfit and I want to go buy me some Stacey Adams or some Rockport, some nice shoes, because I don't really wear tennis shoes all that too often. But if I want to go and buy a nice outfit, belt, just to keep my wardrobe up, I'm not breaking the fucking bank. And vice versa with her. She want a nice dress or some shoes, it's no big deal. You got a lot of women out here, like I said, about military spouses that just sit up, don't fucking work, but be all up at fucking Dillard's and Nordstrom spending shit. Like she didn't work. And then the guy, he's working so much, he's not online checking the accounts. And when he does, he's in fucking overdraft. His wife didn't overdraft. And I can tell you again, I can't tell you how many times I had to go in front of First Sergeant with a troop that didn't pay his fucking bills because his wife, who don't do shit, then went to the mall and bought all kind of bullshit. And he can't even pay his goddamn bills. Again, if he did an inventory check of this female, he would have been okay. But then again, a lot of these guys are young, which brings me to this point. When you're young, you can get away with shit because hopefully, the damage is done, you deal with it, you learn from it. When you're out here, as I told you about a friend of mine, when you're out here in your mid-30s and up, knocking chicks up, being loose with your penis, no sexual control, you're a fucking sexual deviant. When you're out here doing that shit, and you're, it's kind of, as you get older, it's kind of hard to recoup. Look, when you're 55 years old and you're in debt and you have a credit score of 400, it takes a while to build that shit up. Now, if you got a 400 credit score and you're 24, you have ample amount of time to bounce back from that shit. But, when you're up in age and you're doing shit you shouldn't be doing, your recovery time, it diminishes. It takes a little bit longer. And, we're on borrowed time here on this plane. And, you got to be wise. You can't be going out here at 40-something and getting 26-year-old girls pregnant who don't do shit. Especially as men, we appreciate, the older you are, you amass, a certain amount of assets. You're a little older, you're a little reserved, conserved in your ways, how you handle and take care of business. You're not supposed to be doing that shit. But the pussy hound factor is in full effect with a lot of guys that will drop, that will, they'll go have sex before they fucking eat. That type of shit. Like they have sex on the brain so much that it knocks them off rational thinking. Like my cousin who was laying in the fucking grass at 1 o'clock in the morning threatening to kill herself over a goddamn no good female. That's the type of shit pussy houndry will do to a guy. It makes him illogical. It puts him off target. And this is why I don't look at females. Because a lot of females, especially now, because of American society, a lot of young teenage females are in that look at me fucking phase, I'm the shit, kowtow to me, fuck you. That's expected from teenage females. They go to this diva fucking phase. But, a lot of women carry that because that's the only shit they have to show for it. Because there are a lot of women. See, what's happening, a lot of women can't cook, clean, do shit our grandmamas and mamas used to do. So they 90% of them now is, look at me, I'm the fucking shit. My eyebrows is on fleck. I'm the shit. And women like that, I look at them from afar because you can fucking smell them coming. And I just curve their asses. I walk by females like that like they don't even fucking exist. Because you're not going to get that type of satisfaction from painless. You're not going to see me gawking at you. I refuse to give women like that attention. And that's my principle. That's my word. That's my, my word is born on that shit. I don't pay attention to women in tight-ass dresses and, walking like I don't look at them. I act like they're not there. I'm that guy. If there's 10 other dudes, I'm that guy looking the other way. Because these women and a lot of women are so self-centered now. Anytime you have a conversation, to open the door or look him in the eyes, oh, he's trying to fucking talk to me. Chick, lose your fucking self. Get over yourself, chick. Nobody's checking for your ass. But you have a lot of women like that. And men, you need to understand that shit. Stop trying to be so fucking chivalrous. And I'm not against chivalry. It's just a lot of American women don't deserve that type of, they don't garner that type of respect. Because they're ungrateful, they're unappreciative. They just, they don't understand. So it's like, fuck them. I'm hard about that shit, man. I'm stern about that shit. I mean that shit. I don't do that, man. You will never be able to say, well, Payless tried to talk to me like the fuck I did, chick. And some of you all women who may be listening, damn, he's so disrespectful to women. No, the fuck I'm not. I'm disrespectful to whores and attention-seeking females that only want attention. And then when you open up their book, it's fucking empty. The book has no words. I.e. meaning they can't cook, they can't clean, they have no understanding of responsibilities and bills and financial management. Only thing they got is they shit, just the body. That's it. But that shit fades. That shit fades. So, if it don't apply, let that shit fly. That's how I look at it. If you're not that woman, it shouldn't fucking bother you. Unless you're that type of woman. And you could sit there with your face all turned up and shit and looking ugly. I could give a fuck. I could give two shits about how you're feeling right now if you're that type of female. Point me to the corner. You can find me on the corner of I and don't give a fuck. How about that? Because that's where I'm hanging out. That's where I roam. Because it is what it is. And you guys, I see why a lot of guys, and like I said, guys like me are hated Because we don't feed into the bullshit. I'm not going to be a fucking, knight in shining armor. I'm not going to appease you and put my jacket over a puddle and all this stupid ass shit. Now, if you find a woman that is respectable and noteworthy and all those things, has all those intangibles, then great. I'm not necessarily anti-marriage. I'm just saying the shit wouldn't be for me in a sense if my wife were to pass or we were to split. I have a great thing. Like I said, with no kids, we're friends. We're best friends. A lot of you guys, you're just fucking miserable. A lot of you guys are miserable. You checked in your dicks a long time ago. I don't know if I'm going to be able to go out, man. I got to see with the wife. What? I mean, there's courtesy like, hey, babe, I'm going out, so-and-so. Okay? Come on. We got to be real. It's courtesy. But look, you got to do this. You got to put those blinds up, Jim. Okay, what about that yard you said you was going to do? And you were supposed to paint the room. Weren't you supposed to fix the garage door? You got to do all those things, Jim, before you go out with Sal and the boys. Fuck that. But you have a lot of guys that they have checklists they got to do before they go down to the street to watch the fucking game. And that's sad. And what I notice with a lot of married guys, they get fat and they get out of fucking shape. I mean, these guys were in high school, 195 pounds, 6'2", lean, mean, scholarships to Alabama, scholarships to freaking Louisiana Tech. Now I go back home, these motherfuckers are shit hanging over their belt, looking old, got glaucoma, and just looking miserable. And got a sassy ass female bossing their asses around while she goes out to the salon and getting weave and spending $300 every other week, every other month and a half or a couple weeks getting her hair done while he's busting his ass at the plant. No, I mean, just it's sad, man. All gray and skin tone uneven and shit. I mean, that's what marriage does to a lot of people. If you don't enjoy life, see, my wife and I, we enjoy life. We travel. We hang out. I see so many guys this miserable, overweight, can't do shit. And I mean, if that's your joy, seeing your kids, it's nothing wrong with that, but you got to take care of yourself. But it's kind of hard when you got a female all in your face all the time, telling you to do shit, bossing you around. She took your penis and hid it from you. And, that's all you're doing. Some guys find joy in that, I guess. And I'm not anti-kid. I'm just saying that have kids, a lot of guys have these kids. They don't even fucking want the kid. And they marry the female because they think that's the right thing to do. And they're fucking miserable. There are a lot of people in America with kids they didn't even fucking want. And if I would go so far as to say, and you're not probably going to hear this, they probably was like, damn, I wish you just aborted that motherfucker. But I mean, when the child's 9 years old, I mean, can't say that. I mean, it's kind of hard to say that shit now, but I'm just being brutally honest. A lot of you guys are with these women because you met her at fucking Moose's bar, and you had your drunk goggles on, and you had the whiskey dick, and now she's pregnant. Now you married her, now you're like, shit. So it's kind of like, marry this chick or $621 for 18 years. I'll take choice A, Your Honor. So, I mean, and it's, fuck that. Fuck that shit, man. I just sit here in awe, man, at that type of bullshit. I'm just sitting here. It's bullshit, man. It really is. What else can I fucking hone in on? Come on, damn, I need to talk for 40 minutes. But, yeah, I'm not anti-children. It's just a lot of people have children. And since a lot of women are so fucking emotional, they can't see the outcome of, like I said earlier, you have a child knowing damn well you have no fucking relationship with the man, but since you think you're ready to be a mommy, you bring the child in this fucking world in an unstable relationship. And then when the shit don't go the way that you want it, plan fucking B. Family court. I say take family court out the equation and you fucking raise him. You wanted him. Yeah, he contributed. No dispute about that. But you could have had the child and gave it up for fucking adoption, or you could have aborted it. You had that choice. But no, you're using it. You're already using the child. They ain't even fucking born yet. And if the shit didn't backfire, now you want to go file a child support claim. Fuck that shit. So now you're half-ass raising the kid. Or, the kid so, the relationship is so rocky. But that's how a lot of women operate. Very self-centered, very selfish, and don't have forward thinking. They can't look at the big picture. Why the fuck would you bring a child in this world under these circumstances? At least give it to a family who is in the state. There's tons of families out here that want kids but can't. But no, you're going to do it because you see it, because the system has set your ass up to get fucking rewarded for your failures. My goodness. So you get rewarded with 18 years of money because of your fucking fuck-ups. While the guy who didn't want it in the first place. And now I know some of you, well, you should have what kind of. See, this is exactly why I would get my shit snipped. And I know me, I would carry the shit on. And like, damn, is it really mine? Oh, shit. Got to pick up extra hours. Fuck. And she's over there laughing. Ha, ha, ha. But no, chick, Painless gets the fucking last laugh. I would play her ass on. Because that's just how I am. I can be, if you want to fuck me, and this is, you're trying to fuck me, I'll get medieval on your ass. I will. We two can play these fucking games, chick. Two. This is a multiplayer fucking game, and guess what? Me and you up on the sticks. So if you want to play these fucking shenanigans and you want to do this, okay, play fucking ball. Game on, chick. But see, you got a lot of guys that, like I said, they think with their third leg, and they don't know the rules of the game. And that's the thing. You need to get you a playbook and devise you some formations. And learn the rules of the game. Never be caught with your fucking pants down. literally and figuratively. Peace.